That kind of nerd. Let's start the show with comics, movies, and technology. Here we go, bringing you the segments that you're looking for, like Cape Talk, Screen to Stream, Tech Perspective, and more. Cast this nerd degree and the Blockbuster. Welcome to the club, cause you're that kind of nerd.
Welcome everyone to That Kind of Nerds podcast, a weekly show that tells you what is going on in the nerdy world. I am CJ Mellon, joined by Josh Burns and Brian Thornton.
What up? Toss a coin to your witcher, oh Valley of Plenty.
There's a reference that I understand is a reference, but I don't understand.
What's the money they use?
I don't know.
Like,
coin. They just say coin.
It's like Durnin or no, there's a word.
I don't know. I didn't pay that. I have thoughts about that show. We can talk about that at a later
I do
time.
too. They need to stop switching between old times and new times.
Oh, don't get me started on that shit. That's
the language is so inconsistent, it's infuriating.
The next statement is going to be a little controversial, and if you think it's controversial, you can just turn the show right off. It is not only a new year, it is a new decade. Yay! And because of that,
who would think that's controversial? Is that a thing?
People are fighting about this decade, not a decade.
People are,
bullcrap.
because because 10, the number 10 is the end of the first set of units. It's not a start of a second set. Like it starts again at 11. See what I'm saying?
But all we care about is that it has been 10 years, and 10 years is a decade. Doesn't matter when we started counting.
You're right.
Years is a decade.
It's a new decade. It's every year is the beginning of a new decade.
Exactly.
I mean,
yes. Technically that's true.
You're right, but that's dumb.
Anyway, hence the controversy. But being Brian Thornton, being lit by fireworks and the leftover remnants of champagne being thrown off the desk, he has craftily put together this month's Blockbuster for January 2020.
My New Year's Eve was extremely different from what you think it was.
Brian, sitting on the couch, going, "Babe, it's midnight. Wake up, babe, it's midnight."
No, that was reversed. I was the one who was asleep.
Oh, okay. Well,
anyway,
so Brian, being that this is your segment, take it away.
Normally, January is the dumping ground for most studios, but I'm kind of feeling pretty positive about a couple things coming out in January.
Still looks like mostly a dumping ground.
Yeah, it's pretty much a dumping ground.
One of the things I am not really positive about is the Grudge that is out currently. It's not that I have a Grudge, the movie The Grudge.
Is it like a reboot?
It is not.
Because we already have a movie called The Grudge.
Yes, we do already have a movie called The Grudge. We also have a movie called The Grudge 2. But the thing about The Grudge is that all the movies are happening at the same time. And they're just happening to different people. So
right.
Technically a reboot, but not a reboot because it's happening at the same time as the Sarah Michelle Gellar one. And it's the same ghost. So it's technically The Grudge 3, but the name is just The Grudge. But
technology is happening way better at the same time with these.
I don't know. I haven't seen any smartphones in the trailer. Have you?
I'm just saying, you'd have to assume.
Probably not. Maybe they all use flip phones.
CJ, I need you to watch this and tell me how inconsistent it is since it's happening at the same time as a 2004 Grudge.
Yes, that'll be my goal. By the way, it's never going to happen, but sure, I'll look into that.
Maybe they're all using Motorola Razrs. I mean,
the foldable ones, though. They're in the 2020 ones where they fold.
There's going to be no selling me on this movie.
Yeah, there's no
I wasn't trying to sell you on it. Another movie that I'm not going to try to sell you on is January 10th. Like a Boss comes out with Rose Byrne and Selma Hayek and Tiffany Haddish and
Like a Boss.
Yeah, you said
that movie.
You said that. You said the word wrong.
Like a Boss.
It's a BAWSSS. Bouse.
Like hard pass. Yeah, because no way, no amount of pleading will make me go see this movie.
Yeah, this movie might as well have Kristen Wiig in it. How hard I'm going to avoid it.
Kristen Wiig and Matthew McConaughey.
Yeah.
Yep. But I am interested in the third movie of the month, Brian.
You mean 1917?
Yes, sir.
Nope.
It's not a theater movie. I'm pretty sure when we talked about the trailer,
the lead guy is Tommen Baratheon. Why do I care?
I don't care about the actors. I care about the way that they're making
care about
and
the
showing
actors in a movie.
He's saying that that's not the reason he's going to plunk down his money, and that's a completely viable statement to say. But I don't think the filmmaking is going to save this movie. It is.
I've heard mixed things about it.
I'm hearing mixed things, and I'm not rushing out to the
interested
theaters.
in the way it was shot. And honestly, I'm fine with unknown people being the leads of a movie. I'm there for what the movie wants to do, not the people in the movie. So I'm interested in this. I want to see this.
Mark Strong, Andrew Scott, Colin Firth, and Crumpty Bunk Slapty Back will not be able to save this movie.
They're also going to be in 3 minutes apiece.
Right.
They'll have a total screen time of 15 minutes.
Right, but they have... Okay, fine. Yes.
And
this is a continuity thing for me, too, where I get to watch it and be like, ooh, because it's all supposed to be one cut, quote unquote.
Yeah, but there's edits.
But it's
dumping
not.
around.
It's clearly not. Oh my God. How dare you? Anyway.
All right, moving on to some movies that I myself, and I know Josh is interested in at least one of the next couple. It's not Doolittle, I'll tell you that much. I'm interested in Doolittle. Josh is not interested in Doolittle.
I'm worried that Doolittle is a January movie. And they're either just like, there's no other good movies to take its speed, to take its heat. We'll be fine. Or they're like, I mean, we'll put a lot of star power in it, but it's a January movie. And I don't know where it lies. I want to like this, but I'm very fearful of this movie just being crap.
I think I've been pretty straightforward about my feelings on Robert Downey Jr., and that is all I will say about
I'm
that.
kind of just hoping this is Sherlock Holmes 3.
It's all a joke. He wakes up halfway through the movie. By God, I've been having a dream. I was Dr. Doolittle.
That was a terrible accent.
I wasn't. Do you want me to try one? I was just doing a thing.
No, I didn't like the thing. Anyway, January 17th, as well, has Bad Boys for Life coming out, which I did not realize was a January movie either. I thought this was some, later.
No, it looks like a January movie.
It's been what, 17 years?
Since Bad Boys 2?
Yeah.
Probably less than that.
Bad Boys 2 was released in 2000.
2000, huh? 3?
2003.
It's too long.
17 years.
I mean, Will Smith's still up for it, but Martin Lawrence is not.
Martin Lawrence is just there for comedic effect. He's not there to do the big action scenes.
Right, but this is going to be his last one. They're going to pass it off to Will Smith and this young group. And
I doubt they'll pass it off to Will Smith. I would not be surprised if Will Smith is done after this.
Oh, I think Will Smith becomes the captain in this movie.
Oh, no.
After this is done. He's in charge. He
Mm.
runs the group. He's
Captain
not there.
Mike Lowry.
He's not there shooting up the things, but he's there going, damn it, guys, we have a budget. And you'll be yelling at people. That's
so
all
no
he'll
more,
be doing.
no more Joey Pants?
No. You don't think he dies in this movie saving Martin Lawrence?
I hope not.
I think he does. I think he dies in this movie saving Martin Lawrence, and Martin Lawrence, if anything, becomes the captain.
Tune in to see if we're right. Or text 555-555-5555 to Squid.
I think that's too many numbers.
Yes, it was.
Anyway,
rates will apply to another galaxy.
we can argue back and forth about what we think about Bad Boys for Life. But January 24th, The Gentleman comes out.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure Josh is interested in this,
Guy Ritchie.
even though it has Matthew McConaughey in it.
Guy Ritchie.
But Matthew McConaughey.
But
Guy
Matthew McConaughey.
Ritchie.
It also has Charlie
Charlie
Hunnam in it.
Charlie
So
Hunnam.
yeah, there's that.
And Matthew McConaughey.
Guy Ritchie.
Right.
Also coming out that day, if you're in for a little crappy horror movie, is The Turning.
Nobody is.
No, thank you. What are we turning? What are we turning?
I don't know.
Okay.
It's got, doesn't it have Finn Wolfhard in it?
It does have Finn Wolfhard. I'm pretty sure it's got Deborah Ann Woll in it too, maybe?
That's not enough for me to...
Anyway, then rounding out this wonderful January is the rhythm section starring Blake Lively, and it's on this list because Blake Lively.
I know, but
I don't know what this movie's going to be.
I kind of want to see it because it seems like a femme fatale movie. I don't know.
Yeah, it is. It's a revenge movie, right?
It's a good revenge movie, yes. But I also don't know Blake Lively as revenge movie.
No, I mean Blake Lively, but I'm with you. I don't know that Peppermint, but
Right. Forgot it is
Well,
Peppermint.
remember, Josh, you enjoyed Peppermint.
I did, but only because of the genre of movie.
So you should enjoy this because of the
should.
genre of movie.
I should, but she's doing a really shitty accent the whole time.
Yes. It's not that good. It was almost as good as my Sherlock Holmes I did earlier. It's not that good.
I didn't pay attention to the accent. My bad.
The writer has done nothing.
That's why.
What's the runtime?
The director, well, she's done some stuff. Handmaid's Tale.
Oh, okay.
Runtime
Under 90.
109.
That's an hour 40. It's a decent runtime.
All right.
Almost an hour 50, some would say.
Nope. Some would say an hour 40.
All right.
I round down, Josh.
You round down from 9 to 0.
Yeah, you know what? That's almost as ridiculous as some of the shit you said last week about our next topic.
All right.
I gave you Wolverine. Shut your mouth.
No, don't give me that bull
All right.
crap.
Now, ladies.
Andre 3000, calm down.
We're going to break it down for just a few seconds here. Don't make me break it down for nothing. All right, let's get into this one here. Let's talk about the world of comics. See how it's affecting TV, see how it's affecting movies, but really, guys, it's just affecting Brian this week because it's time for Cape Talk.
Cape Talk.
I have been given a sweeping declaration, a new rule, dare I say, for this fine program, Joshua Burns. I was told, hey, listen, if you're going to do a Cape Talk, you, Sejota Melon, are not a Cape Talk expert. Therefore, you be quiet during the Cape Talk section. To which I said, hey, that's legitimate.
Well, to be fair.
No, you can't to be fair yourself.
I to be fair to myself.
You can't.
But to be fair, it was in the show notes.
Right.
So, had there been objections, these are things that could have been brought to my attention yesterday.
So, sweeping declaration for the show that when Brian is away, we will wait for Cape Talk topics for Brian to come back. Just so we can avoid what's about to happen right now.
Just so that no one else's opinion ever be heard without Brian being able to, like, I don't know, rebuke me.
Pretty much, because I can't hold you in check for this stuff. I'm just making it up as I go, man. I'm just making it up as I go.
So he's had a week to prepare remarks to whatever he was pissed off about.
We're talking about Brian abstractly because for some reason he has walked away. I don't know what's going on.
Yes, he's fucked off.
So, ladies and gentlemen, sweeping declaration done. Therefore, I will now open the floor to a topic that may be familiar to you if you listened last week. The 11 superheroes who defined the decade on screen, from Iron Man to one of the Watchmen. I'm checking my notes here. Jimmy? Yeah, okay. Brian Thornton, I believe it's called. Yes, that's how it's pronounced. Yes. You have the floor?
I'm an it all of a sudden?
Well, your name.
Yes, that's how you say it.
First and foremost, what was the sweeping declaration? I was saying
when you're not here, there's no Cape Talk.
Yeah. You know why? Because you guys say the stupidest shit, and no one's here to correct you. Josh, I love you. You're a hypocrite.
How so?
In one breath, you're telling me that Stephen Amell shouldn't be on this list because the argument of he started the entire CW television universe for DC doesn't hold water. And then you try to say to CJ that Daredevil should be on here because he started the whole Netflix universe for Marvel. That is the utmost hypocritical thing I don't
think Arrow is what drew people to that at all.
It absolutely is.
I disagree.
You can disagree.
Arrow's a flop without Flash.
That's not true at all. Arrow had 2 whole seasons, very successful seasons before the Flash started. Flash actually made his debut on Arrow.
I'm aware of that. I watched it back then.
I agree with you that Flash is a better show, but when we're talking about influential shows and heroes of the decade, it started with Green Arrow. He deserves a spot on here, regardless of how much you hate Stephen Amell.
I don't hate Stephen Amell.
I will say this. Flash should be on here, or Grant Gustin should be on here, because where Green Arrow may be the progenitor, Flash perfected the formula. And did definitely help with shows like Supergirl and Legends and Black Lightning and Batwoman, I guess. But you don't get there without Green Arrow. He absolutely deserves a spot on this list. Other than that, I agree with everybody else on this list.
All right, I'm going to take 1 second, though, and clear up one thing you just said, because I am going to cry foul on it. He never said he hated Stephen Amell. Like he never...
Oh, I know he didn't say it. I just know Josh.
No, I don't hate Stephen Amell.
I don't hold that to
and
be
I
true.
don't, and I don't hate Arrow.
Now that I don't believe.
I don't. Believe you.
I
will
Arrow.
agree with you. I don't think Sister Night should be on here. I think if we're talking about 11 most influential shows, Watchmen should be on here. But if we're talking about influential heroes, or what's the headline? Superheroes?
Yeah, superheroes.
Yeah, I don't think Sister Night belongs.
She doesn't qualify as a superhero.
What did you think about the inclusion of Aquaman with Jason Momoa? Like, did you think that holds water?
You just said you agreed with the rest of the list. I think that's horseshit.
I don't agree with Aquaman.
Well,
I'll give you that.
then you're a hypocrite.
Okay, I'm sorry. I misspoke. There's a difference between misspeaking and directly conflicting things that you just said.
Look,
you are, in fact,
is
a
Netflix
hypocrite,
more
sir.
influential than CW? Yes.
It
is.
We're not arguing networks. We're arguing heroes.
But
the article is
which is a better
heroes.
platform to introduce the heroes to a generation of people?
I don't think that's
okay.
relevant.
No. I'll play this game because if you want to sit here and say Netflix is more influential, fine. You're whatever. Daredevil spawned 4 other shows: Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, Iron Fist, and Punisher. Correct?
And Defenders.
Defenders is a
Defenders is an amalgamation of those shows. You can't give me Defenders. He influenced 4 shows. Arrow influenced.
No.
Oh no. Yes,
just the one.
Really. Flash, Supergirl, Batwoman, Legends of Tomorrow, Black Lightning. So I've already got 1 show up on you.
Arrow may have influenced
and
Flash.
That's not including the
Flash,
2 other shows that are about to come out.
According to you, paved the way for the rest of the Berlantiverse. It wasn't Arrow.
It doesn't matter because you don't get there without Arrow.
I didn't say it.
I said you don't get there without Arrow.
You said it.
You don't get there without Arrow.
You don't get the Flash without Arrow. You don't get anywhere else without Flash. You said that. That's what you said.
I said Flash perfected the formula. I didn't say you wouldn't have these shows.
Paving the way
I said Arrow was the progenitor.
Oh, and I guess Batwoman
which means
too.
It's the parent of all of these shows. Those were my exact words.
I'm a walking fucking thesaurus. I don't need the definition.
I know
I'm saying what you just said.
I said Flash perfected the formula, which helped with shows like Supergirl and Legends. I didn't say Flash is the reason we have these shows. You cited
those shows after Flash as Flash made these possible. And Batwoman too.
That is not what I said.
I'm gonna roll that back.
Yeah, you can go ahead and roll it back, but I said that Arrow is the father of all of these shows, and Flash perfected the formula, which the formula works because Flash got it right.
Okay, the gauntlet has been thrown. Jimmy, please roll back the tape.
Where Green Arrow may be the progenitor, Flash perfected the formula. And did definitely help with shows like Supergirl and Legends and Black Lightning and Batwoman, I guess. But you don't get there without Green Arrow. He absolutely deserves a spot on this list. All right. Now, regardless of what network is influential, that's not what the article is about. The article is about superheroes that were influential.
And what you just said about the different superheroes, quote unquote, on Netflix, those are 4 very different shows.
Sure. They're all canceled.
The whole network is canceled for as far as superheroes are concerned. That's, again, not the point. The shows on CW are all the same thing.
No.
They are.
They have the same formula.
They're very formulaic. They're all the same thing.
I would disagree. I don't think you put Black Lightning and the Flash even in the same.
They're formulaic.
You can't sit there, but that's like saying Law and Order is the same thing as ER. Those are formulaic shows as well. They have a very similar formula. That's like saying House is the same as Grey's Anatomy. It's not. Just because they have the same formula doesn't mean they're the same show. And they deal with different things, different characters, different ways, completely different, just, moralities and things like that, and film styles and things like that. And you're right, Daredevil and Iron Fist are not the same show, but they aren't exactly supposed to be the same show. The Netflix model is not the cable network model. The Netflix model enables you to do wildly different shows.
I just said that.
I get that. But I'm trying to I'm agreeing with you on that.
That's why I'm not a hypocrite, is what I'm saying. Because it was absolutely a different thing. And Stephen Amell did, nobody would be watching this shit if it weren't for The Flash.
That's not true.
You wouldn't have continued. Without The Flash, you would not have continued.
That's not true.
I think we made the point, though, that the 3rd season of Arrow was kind of on a decline. Right? The 2nd season of Arrow was not very good.
2nd season of Arrow was great. I think you're mixing up your seasons.
Having the crossover, though, with The Flash, I think is what gave it its 3rd season.
Okay, no. First and foremost, I think you're mixing up your seasons. The 2nd season of Arrow is probably the best season of Arrow, first off.
I thought the third one was better.
Was that the one where he's on the island?
Second season of Arrow was with Deathstroke. Third
On the
season
island,
of Arrow
right?
was the first 4-5 seasons.
There's a
has
lot of
flashbacks
islands
on the
Yeah,
island.
a lot of
But he spent a lot of time in the island season 2, right?
But the first 3 seasons flashbacking to the island. The villain in season 1 is Malcolm Merlin. The villain in season 2 is Deathstroke. The villain in season 3 is Damien Dark. And Damien Dark is where you started to see a little bit of a decline. But that's neither here nor there. First and foremost, Flash season 1 and Arrow, like the crossovers, I don't know what crossovers you're talking about. Initially, the crossovers started happening from the get because Flash season 1 has a crossover, a 2-episode crossover with Arrow.
Yes.
Which were the only 2 shows on at that time.
Correct.
And then the next seasons is when you started getting the crossovers with Supergirl and stuff like that. That's not the argument here. The argument, again, is about the influential hero and what they did. And going back to the Netflix stuff, Josh, those shows were planned from the beginning. They said, hey, we're doing Daredevil, and we're doing these 3 other shows leading up to Defenders. That was the plan. Arrow, that was not the plan. They didn't know how Arrow was going to turn out. They launched Arrow. They had a 5-season, idea, hoping that it would last 5 seasons, and didn't know that they were going to be able to start launching 5 or 6 other shows because of the success of this show. Do
you mean they wouldn't have canceled the other 3 shows or 4 shows if Daredevil hadn't gone well? It's basically the same thing.
I mean, I don't think they would have because they were already in the middle of filming them by the time Daredevil season 1 dropped. I think you would have still gotten at least 1 season of all of them. Guaranteed. Just because that's the way the Netflix model works.
So what I'm hearing is we could have been spared the second season of Iron Fist had it just not gone well from the beginning.
I mean, yeah.
I wouldn't be as hurt because it wouldn't have been as great of a show.
Well, Iron Fist season 1,
This wouldn't make me cry every single time I go on the Netflix page. There's no more Daredevil.
Can you not find them there anymore? Are they officially off the platform?
No, they're still there, but It's just like there's no new ones.
Because I still have to watch Luke Cage and Iron Fist season 2, and
you'll have to watch Iron Fist season
Jessica
2.
Jones season 3. Still have to watch.
I didn't even do that. I didn't even do that. You're right. Didn't even watch the 3rd season. Was there anyone though? I think we all agree Aquaman should get the hell off this list. There's no reason for him to be there, right?
I got
Sister Night.
He's gone. So should Sister Night, right? For all the reasons that we discussed already. We are going to add Charlie Cox's Daredevil. And then are we leaving Deadpool on there? We never really came to a consensus. Like, is that something that we can say defined a decade?
The first rated R superhero is a pretty big deal.
That's what you're right. Okay, good. All right. Any other additions that we think that need to be on this list? No?
Not that's springing to mind. I was just rereading the list. Apologies. Okay, I've said my piece.
Okay.
Just saying. Said my piece. You guys are not allowed to talk Cape Talk anymore unless I'm here. That's really all it comes down to. I won't talk about Tech Perspective. You guys don't get to talk about Cape Talk.
Well, guys, as we also remember in the world of comics, there was that hit new take on X-Men back in April of 2018, The New Mutants. And what's that, Jimmy? I was just handing a note. Oh, I'm sorry, that movie never actually premiered, and we all thought it was dead. But we just got a notice from the grave that New Mutants will be hitting the theaters without any of the reshoots that apparently had taken place. And it is set to be released again April 3rd of 2020. Are we actually going to see this movie? Like, is this actually happening? Is this for real? Can I mark a calendar?
Hey, I'm really glad that you took like 3 minutes to just get revved up and ready for that joke. That was a master at work. B, yes, I actually think they'll get it released. It'll be released.
So what about
Josh, what's that look?
I don't care.
Josh doesn't care if it gets released, but
that's true.
It will get released. It's already made. Why not? What the hell does Disney care? Like, okay, throw it out there, see if it makes a few bucks.
It's gonna get released by Fox, though, right?
I mean, it'll probably go under the Fox label so that Disney can say, "Oh well,
it wasn't us. I don't know, wasn't mine."
But yeah, I mean, trailer looked interesting. Apparently, they cut a new trailer that has yet to be released. Trailer.
Yeah, it's not out yet, but
whatever. I'll go see it.
I'm really thinking about this. This movie got shelved because of how bad Dark Phoenix was being just shot and received just internally, right? And this whole Disney merger.
Well, it did also need extensive reshoots. And as soon as Disney started putting their hands in the pot, they weren't exactly thrilled with what they saw. And then, they reshot Dark Phoenix because it was too much like Captain Marvel. And then that tanked. So they were like,
and then they did reshoots for this, but then we're not going to use the reshoots.
Oh, no, it's going to be the original cut, which I'm fine with.
I swear to God, if I hear any of you listeners demanding some other cut of this movie after it comes out.
Did you hear that bullshit already with the Star Wars?
I did hear that about Star Wars. But listen, again, as we covered with this stupid Snyder cut, you don't want those cuts of movies. Stop asking for them. All right, listener, I'm talking to you in the car or walking around the neighborhood right now. Don't you dare ask. So since we already took the time at the top of the show to talk about some movies that are coming out for 2020, let's zoom out a little bit. Go a little bit bigger. Let's talk about the world of TV and movies in a segment that we call Screen to Stream. And I have this article here. There's actually two of them in the show notes. It is movies that we're pumped for in 2020. There's a few, nerdy movies in here, as well as just a few other really good things coming out. But I'm curious to what movies are you guys getting excited for this year? Because I mean, there's the two movies for me that I really think are going to make this year. God, I hope they're good. Is Top Gun Maverick and Tenet.
Dude,
listen, I will die on my Top Gun. I will die on my Top Gun.
I'll give you
hill.
Tenet. I think Tenet's going to be fantastic, but dude, no. Top Gun Maverick is going to be bad.
As long as the movie is a movie, I will love it.
This is what they put in this list?
There's two. Did you get the other one too from Sci-Fi? The Sci-Fi one's more our story.
Hang on. No, I'm looking at the BBC one.
I also thought there's something I didn't know was coming. And Josh, this is kind of interesting considering that we talked about Lin-Manuel Miranda's 2005 Broadway hit In the Heights.
West Side Story with Ansel Elgort.
Yeah, by Steven Spielberg.
Nah, I don't care.
Really?
No, I don't care. Spielberg, I don't care.
Okay. Right. I was also just surprised to see Ansel Elgort, which you'll know from Baby Driver fame, showing up in this movie too. This I don't necessarily know if the play from the 1950s translates very well to a 2020 movie audience.
I don't think a lot of these do. The cast looks good. I just don't.
Yeah, I'm just not real into it.
Okay, I'm way more into this list. I mean,
yeah, the list is good.
The Sci-Fi list is good. Like Eternals,
the second link in the show notes.
Halloween Kills. I'm on board for Bill and Ted. I'm on board for Tenet. I'm on board for Ghostbusters Afterlife, Free Guy. Not so much.
I'm worried about Free Guy.
Black Widow, I'm in for. Antlers looks creepy AF.
No, thank you.
I mean, I'm always excited for a new Bond movie, even though I don't know how this one's going to be. Mulan should be good. Quiet Place 2. I know
wait a minute. Mulan. We're just going to. They're not doing any songs for Mulan at all. It's a straight. I mean.
I don't need to hear Donny Osmond.
But then you're going to listen for the lines like they do in the trailer. We're going to make men out of you.
So I'm not worried about it.
All right.
Just give me the story. It's a good story. I don't need the music. The music is fun, but it's a war movie, essentially. I don't need to sing during a war movie.
It's going to make 1917 just look really good when they break out into song.
Oh, yeah, totally.
The musical number is totally going to be worth it. Josh, what movies are you looking forward for this year of 2020?
Obviously the Bond movie. I mean, No Time to Die looks really cool. There's not a ton that I'm like, holy shit. I mean, Tenet is going to be awesome, I think, but I don't know. I mean, Guy Ritchie.
Yeah, Gentleman's not even on there, buddy.
Right. It's not. I don't keep saying. Well, the second list has all kinds of stupid shit.
Yeah, that BBC list sucks.
I like that. That's the one I like.
He likes the BBC.
Oh,
you
really?
like the Sci-Fi.
I like the Sci-Fi list.
And I like to mix and match the two of them.
That Sci-Fi list is awful.
Well, I did think that there was an addition onto this list of movies for 2020.
Ghostbusters. You're not excited for Ghostbusters?
I mean, not really, but okay. When it hits iTunes, I'll see it.
Now, I did like one of the additions for a movie that I wasn't expecting to get, but very happy to see, which actually dropped a trailer this week as well. And Brian, if I remember correctly, was one of your movies of the decade, A Quiet Place Part 2.
Yeah.
That we're going to get that. Now, if I also read correctly, John Krasinski is back as the director of this movie as well. So this will be his second movie.
I think he wrote it too. I think he wrote the first one as well.
Yes,
and he directed the first one.
Yes.
So yeah.
The trailer that we got, though, really kind of puts us into a different... We're going jumping back a little bit, it looks like, and a little bit forward. We're going to see a lot of D-Day of these guys hitting the planet. What were your impressions of the trailer that we saw?
Dude, I am so on board for this movie. I that first scene with her like trying to drive through the streets and then she has to back up and you see the thing start crawling out of the bus window. I'm like, this is going to be awesome. And then, Cillian Murphy's always good, and Jaimon Hewson, I think will be interesting. I'm sure they'll be like kind of bad-ish guys,
right?
But yeah, I mean, I'm curious to see where we go from here, considering where the last movie ended up, and you pretty much had Emily Blunt doing her, badass shotgun, kind of personality. I'm interested to see what more they can do with this story, because I thought the first one was great. I didn't need a second one. I was initially not on board for doing a sequel, but after seeing this trailer, I'm on board.
Yeah, and again, we're going to have to train another audience that they can't eat their crunchy popcorn during the movie. Let's keep it quiet. I was also interested to see that, from what I could gather, part of the movie also seems to pick up immediately after the events of the first movie. The barn's on fire and everything else is going on. So definitely worth. If you haven't seen A Quiet Place, the part one, I guess now technically, do yourself a favor and go do that. I don't know if that was on your list, Josh. Did you ever get to see that movie?
Nope.
Okay, I don't want to spoil it too much for you, but definitely good, man. You'll definitely appreciate it.
Now, hang on, I'm curious. Is it because horror or just not interested?
Yes.
It's not very horror-y because I don't like horror movies at all, and this doesn't have a horror feel to it.
Is it a jump scare movie?
It's more of a tension builder.
Yes, I would say more of that. More of just uneasy tension. Squirming in your chair, but not due to...
Like Alien. More like Alien. The first one.
No, I don't know. It's not something I'm going...
John Krasinski?
I hear you.
Oh, all right.
What if you didn't have to go out of your way? What if I set up a screening at your home in front of you?
Would I have to watch it?
It is required to watch it, yes. Because it is a quiet place. There's not a lot of dialogue happening.
Josh,
so you do have to watch it.
This is literally the perfect movie for you, because there is no one eating in any theater when this movie is on. You don't hear anyone's lips smacking. You don't hear any of that stuff. No gulping of sodas. Like, it's
Josh, I will do you one better. Theater. I'll come over. I'll bring my Blu-ray. We can set up in your kid-free zone with the TV and everything. Get you nice, cranberry juice or iced tea. Whatever you want.
No, where you're going to plug the Blu-ray, like you're going to bring the player?
I'll bring a player, or I mean, hey, you got a smart TV, right? Or Apple TV. I got Vudu. It's on my Vudu. I'll log into my Vudu, and you will enjoy the experience.
This is nice. You guys were having a date night after your fight about comic book heroes. This was sweet.
Why would you bring that up again?
Did it make it weird?
We moved past it. Shut up.
Okay.
Anyway, date night.
By the way,
without the wives.
Would really like to say thank you for just attempting to include me within this night. I see how that.
You're never allowed to go anywhere.
No, just a moderator to you. I see how this friendship works.
Yes,
I'm just here to moderate.
For your moderation
Nothing
ability.
to moderate in A Quiet Place. I get it.
Anytime I ask you to do something, the answer is no. So I just assume the answer is always no.
I'm busy this day now too. You made up with one of you, and now you piss me off. Anything else anyone has to add about that?
I was wondering why they...
does anyone care about Dune?
Nah, I mean, I've never...
Why do people love Dune so much?
It's got some sort of cult following. I've never seen the original movie, and I've never read the books, so I can't speak to it.
Okay.
But sci-fi, sandworms, okay, I'm sure. That's fine, great.
People are just obsessed with it, and I just don't get the...
I want sandworm.
There's only like one sandworm. Maybe some people do. I'm not speaking for the people who are fans of Dune.
Were there two in Beetlejuice? I thought there were a couple.
I think there's just one.
All right, like I said, do yourself a favor. Come on down to the Bernstein's. Watch yourself A Quiet Place. I'm saying open invitation.
Why are you inviting everybody to this?
Saying,
this is a date night
between
I can
come, everybody can.
That doesn't make any sense.
We'll charge admission.
You can't go anywhere.
That's very true. All right, well, listeners, thank you so much for being just your loyal selves and just being you. Thank you. All right, listeners, if you are a member of our Patreon, you can go ahead and get an exclusive spoiler cast with Brian and I talking about Star Wars Rise of Skywalker. I know that the two of us differ heavily on this movie, so it's going to be an interesting conversation. So head over to patreon.com/thatkindofnerd, join up, and go ahead and get access to this amazing spoiler cast. In the meantime, thank you so much, listener, for making us your walk around your neighborhood or your drive to work, and we'll see you next week.
Well, welcome to the club, because you are that kind of nerd.
I wanna address how we have a topic in here because Brian didn't get to put his 2 cents in about it. And there's shit I'm just silent about. Like, I listen when I'm not here and I listen to the episode, I'll be in my car screaming. But we don't ever revisit that shit.
You can just tell me, man. We'll totally revisit it.
You need to put your fucking hand up.
Brian throws a temper tantrum, and here we are.
You're ridiculous. That's why we're talking about this again.
Fighting the Bernstons. Please don't fight Bernstons.
Haven't even gotten there yet. Can you at least intro the goddamn show?
Welcome, everyone, to... I was way too high. Welcome. Everyone, to... No, I saw the spike. Welcome, everybody.
I want to be a real boy.
Oh boy, I'm CJ Mellon, joined by Joshua Burns and Ryan Thornton.
Yeah, you really need to redo that. Don't want to get sued.